This is brought to you by the Electronic Church of God, Arizona. Thank you. Welcome to September 5th, 4th day of the week, 2007. Well, what we'll do now is get right into the Lord's Care Ministry. 1 year with the Lord, day 248. Jesus tells the parable of the lost son. Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 24. To further illustrate the point, he told them this story. A man had 2 sons. When the younger told his father, "I want my share of your estate now, instead of waiting until you die," his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and took a trip to a distant land, and there wasted all his money on parties and prostitutes. About the time his money was gone, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him to feed his pigs. The boy became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding the swine looked good to him, and no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, "At home, even the hired men haven't food enough and to spare, and here I am, dying of hunger. I will go home to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and am no longer worthy being called your son. Please take me on as a hired man.' So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long distance away, his father saw him coming and was filled with a loving pity and ran and embraced him and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and you. I am not worthy of being called your son.' But his father said to the slaves, 'Quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him, and a jeweled ring for his finger, and shoes, and kill the calf we have in the fattening pen. We must celebrate with a feast, for this son of mine was dead and is returned to life. He was lost and is found.' So the party began." In the 2 preceding stories, the seeker actively looked for the coin and the sheep, which could not return by themselves. In this story, the father watched and waited. He was dealing with a human being with a will of his own, but he was ready to greet his son if he returned. In the same way, God's love is constant and patient and welcoming. Breaking away. The younger son, like many who are rebellious and immature, wanted to be free to live as he pleased, and he had to hit bottom before he came to his senses. It often takes great sorrow and tragedy to cause people to look to only one who can help them. Are you trying to live your life your own way, selfishly pushing aside any responsibility or commitment that gets in your way? Stop and look before you hit bottom. You will save yourself and your family much grief. Fear God. Keep his commandments. A Philippian pilgrim, a workman for God, a friend of Christ. Brother, are you one that had to go out and leave home and do things your own way and in your own style and forget God all the way? If so, Get down on your knees, repent, and ask God to forgive you and accept you back into his family. Well, with that, brethren, we are closed for today, and God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. If you would like to donate to this ministry, please mail to COGA 13131 West Tucky Lane, Glendale, Arizona 85307. This would be very much appreciated in keeping this ministry going. Thank you. Produced for you by Forrest Grote. Thank you.